Thanks for tuning in to Showroom 18. Today we are taking a look at the Sony Xperia E1. This phone follows up to the Xperia E, which was released in March 2013. The E1 is an affordable upgrade from the Xperia E with a slight improved processor and screen, but in comparison to other Sony phones on the market, the E1 is a low-end device. The E1 was released in January 2014 with Android 4.3 and since then has been updated with Android 4.4. The phone we have based this review on is running Android 4.4.2. If we take a look at the design and layout of the device, the E1 is 2.4 inches in width and 4.6 inches in length. From the side it is 0.47 inches in thickness. Starting at the front there is a 4.0 inch screen with a resolution of 480 by 800 and a pixel density of 223. Above the screen in the far left corner is the charging notification light, which is more visible when lit up. To the right of that is the ear speaker, then over to the far right, which is hard to make out right here, is the proximity and light sensor. Below the screen is another light which also is not visible until it is lit up in the Walkman app. Going over to the right hand corner is the main microphone. Turning the phone over to the right on this side is the volume keys. On the main menu this adjusts your ring volume. In media apps this will turn up and down the volume of games, music or videos, and in camera mode this is used for zooming in and out. Below that is the power key for turning on and off the device. When holding it down or quickly pressing it will switch it to standby or vice versa. On the left side of the E1 all we have here is the micro USB port for charging and attaching third party accessories. On the very top of the phone is a slot for a 3.5mm jack for headphones and hands-free headsets. And over here is the Walkman key. When holding it down will bring up the Walkman app. Quickly pressing it will either stop or play the current track you have loaded up. You can also press the key and shake the phone to play a random song. On the very back of the device we have a matte style backing, and at the top of this is a small hole where the second microphone is located. Underneath that is the camera lens, and this area here is the speaker. Lastly, at the very bottom, all we have here is two small holes for attaching a strap, but this is also how you can take the backing off. You can take the battery out of this phone, and this is where you insert the regular style SIM card, and above over here is where you can add your micro SD card. This method I'm not really a big fan of, as it is not very secure. It can easily be pulled out or knocked to the left or right. Even with the battery in, it is still loose. You have to be a little bit more firm when placing the SD card in. It should look like this for it to work. The Xperia E1 has a 1.2 GHz dual-core Snapdragon 200 processor with 512MB of RAM with 4GB of internal storage. There is the option to add up to 32GB of external storage through the use of a micro SD card. The phone supports Java and Flash. The list of connectivity features are as follows: Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, FM radio, micro USB and micro USB charging, 3G and GSM. The phone does not have NFC, infrared, DLNA, Wi-Fi direct, MHL out or HDMI. The device does have a proximity sensor, ambient light sensor and accelerometer, but does not have a compass, gyroscope, barometer or temperature sensor. What you get in the box: this is based on a UK order from December 2014. Micro USB cable, power supply, screen protector with cleaning cloth, hands-free headphones, the phone and instructions. When you are greeted on the home screen, this is set out the same as standard Android devices. There is 5 screens to set up your apps and widgets. If you swipe down, you get a list of current notifications with the options to go to quick settings to toggle Wi-Fi and other settings, which can be edited to your liking. Pressing this key will bring up the full list of apps on your device, which is also standard on Android. Swiping to the right will give you this tab to change the order of your apps or uninstall them. The pre-installed Sony apps you get on the E1 are as follows: Walkman, Album which connects to play memories online, Movies, Sony Select, Smart Connect, Track ID and Xperia Lounge. There is no PlayStation Mobile Store on the E1. The device starts up fairly quickly and runs smoothly. I have noticed a few freezes, but this happened while downloading an update in a game and one other time when connecting to Wi-Fi, which lasted a few seconds and then continued to work. This device is capable at playing more of the lower to medium demanding games without any lag. The screen and resolution is slightly on the lower end, and it is noticeable when watching movies. It has a washed out look to it, but keep in mind that I have used higher end devices before this, which makes it even more noticeable. If you're upgrading from older phones, then this might look better in comparison to older models. It goes down to what you are used to. Despite the screen quality, the videos play without any lag or issues. The battery life is also good and will get through a day. This is based on listening to just over 2 hours of music, browsing the web via Wi-Fi, and playing a few minutes of games in a more casual to standard use. Based on this usage, I turned the phone on at 7 AM at 100%. By 3:41 PM, the battery was only down to 79%. This was with stamina mode on, Q background data ticked, and brightness set to adapt to lighting conditions. This is also based on a new phone within the first 2 to 3 weeks of usage. Over time, battery levels will vary. The call quality is basic. There is settings to add noise suppression to the mic to remove background noise from your side of the call. With this setting on, there was more of that static sound on the other end of the call. It sounded more clear with everything set to default, but even then it still sounds a little muffled at times, but nothing too extreme. There is only one camera on this device, which is located at the back. This is a 3 megapixel camera. There is very few features available on the camera. There is no light or flash, so you will not be able to take photos in very dark rooms. You have 4 modes: auto scene recognition, a manual, picture effect, and sweep panorama. A manual mode lets you change the megapixel, ISO, and the type of lighting conditions you're in. You can also select soft snap, anti-motion blur, or select any of the following manually. Screen auto gives you smile shutter and will work out the scene option as shown in manual mode, but it will just set it for you. Self timer is available in both modes. The video resolution is SVGA, which is 800 by 600 4.3. My experience with the phone, starting with the positives, with this being a smaller screen compared to other smartphones, the default on-screen keyboard works better than other phones at getting what you're pressing more accurate. For me, this is what I like most about this phone, since I don't always like typing on touchscreen phones, and this worked for me. I typed up a lot of my notes for this review on this device without having to make that many corrections. Also, because of the size of the device, it fits well in pockets and makes for a good music player with the Walkman key. Now, the not so good points. The internal storage is the first and main issue. Even though there is 4 GB, 2 is not available due to the operating system, and 1 is used with pre-installed apps. I had about 700 megabytes to start with, and not all of these can be moved to an SD card. Space is needed for texts and saving contacts. Use an SD card if possible for games, music, pictures, or save contacts to the SIM card, and keep the internal storage free for a smoother experience. It is not always as comfortable in my hands compared to what I'm used to. This is down to the thickness of it. I normally like to text with one hand, and while I did previously say the typing is better, I do have to angle my thumb in a bit of a strange way to press the lower right corner of the screen. This might not be the same for everyone depending on your texting style and hand size. Overall, this phone is ideal for anyone who is looking to purchase a handset outside of a contract for an affordable price, to either replace or to buy as a gift for anyone that has not used an Android smartphone before, or that is just looking for something with the basic features. This also would work well as a backup or a second phone. The E1 is a good phone and does work well, but I feel Sony might have made a few swaps to keep it within their targeted price range by getting rid of things like the front camera and flash to have a more updated processor. If you're looking for a high resolution screen or taking videos and pictures, then this might not be the best device to go for. If possible, always try a working demo of each phone before buying to see how it feels within your hands. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, let us know in the comments. If you want to watch more, check out our review of the Xperia E3, which is the follow-up to the E1, or if you want to see our comparison of both the E1 versus the E3, you can click on the annotation or the links in the description.